Willowkeeper going through both Rexars and BMG to get to this point. But, you know, the fun thing about this is mainly we got these two teams matching up. I mean, sure, they've played against each other in the Carnage and Kaladivar a while ago, but they haven't really played against each other. I mean, Willowkeeper has developed a lot since then, and Sync has even changed slightly as far. Well, I guess no one's was part of them at that point still. But anyways, the point being, Willowkeeper is a different team than they were in that CIC event. I think you would agree, Mini Maggot.
Oh, definitely. And, oh, man, I can't express my excitement for this game, man. It's going to be so good. I'm looking forward to it so much. I'm so hyped and so pumped. I've been waiting for this game for weeks and weeks on end, and I'm looking forward to see how Tree can really match up going against Sync. And, man, I just can't wait for this game to get underway.
Yeah, obviously, you know, Willowkeeper had a matchup against Bad Monkey Gaming twice the previous cycle, and again, that was the BMG team, which is no longer, to an extent, obviously much different roster, but they didn't play Sync Esports last cycle because of how things played out. So yeah, again, it's just a lot of reasons why to be excited for this, so looking forward to that in the end. So, with that said, to clarify what it's at this point, then technically it's overall $33,000, but for the Diamond Division, it was just over $31,000, and then of course the other, I think it like $2,300 or something like that went towards the Gold Division. That's just how the split works. So $2,486 actually. So yeah, even the Gold Division, the top 3 teams over there, getting some decent money as well. So, anyways, with that said, we're moving along here as far as the bans and picks. The initial bans, Ophelia, Cthulhu Font, Swiftblade, and Bubbles coming out. Bubbles not too often, again, a ban hero, but banned out by Sync right here, respecting the boxy Bubbles perhaps. But picks developing now, though. Rhapsody, Pharaoh, Doctor. You got Empath, Parasite, and Pebbles coming out on Sync. And then there's a Moraxis pickup coming out from Willowkeeper. Moraxis, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised a little bit because I mean, obviously we've seen Moraxis quite a bit here and there, but I don't really get to see Tree play Moraxis all that too often. Seeing as normally that they like to run the sort of solo mid, either if it's like 1v1 or 1v2, and Moraxis we normally see in a dual mid setting, and Tree don't really like to run like a dual mid that much, but we're going to see it here. It's most likely going to be a dual mid with Moraxis and a dual bot with Dr. Repulsor with Pharaoh being in the suicide lane, but we'll have to see. Tree are sort of known for doing some wacky things, so we'll have to see what they decide to go. I mean, but looking for Zinc, I mean, we talked about how The Last of Us or sort of Nullstone Gaming had quite an aggressive sort of ganking style of lineup, but for Zinc it's even more so. They've got the Parasite, they've got the Pebbles, and then they've got the Revenant to top it all off. So, I mean, Tree have to be incredibly careful in terms of their positioning here to not get picked off and not to give away too many kills before the Tree lineup can really get into effect. Yeah,
no doubt Tree is, you pointed out there, I mean, known for doing some different things, especially with some hero pickups here and there and strategy. So, hell, last week we saw the Suicide Geomancer coming out. It's finally going to see that hero after I've kind of stressed every now and then. Not really seen it too often. So, not afraid to try different heroes and try different things. So, we'll see with this final pick if that kind of continues that trend or overall a little bit more consistent. I mean, it's understandable. Again, they are going up against Seek here for the first time in a long time. Okay, there you go. Prophet, not a hero. I doubt Quincy has that on his stats as far as record. I would be surprised if anyone has played Prophet, honestly. At least as far as since we've been recording that. But Prophet, I mean, okay, a couple of games even. So there you go.
Who played him? I'm wondering who played him. Pretty Tree.
That must have been CIS. That must have been Carnage and Kaladivar too. I don't think that would have been Haunter, but I mean, I've loved to see the potential of this hero. His ultimate could definitely make for great team fights and also just great pushing and things like that with the Invigorate buff. Debilitate and Persecution, offensive tools that are very good as well. Is he the strongest just main support, though, I think is what it kind of goes back to. Now, in this case, I guess he's probably going to be playing more of a secondary support.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, whenever I used to see Prophet from Tree, I used to see it in actually a tri-lane potential, because if you think about the hero and its sort of skill set, it is very strong. So we'll have to see if they do decide to go for a tri-lane or not. Actually, in last pick on Mage Bane, and it's going to be most likely going to be a Suicide Mage Bane as well. We actually saw it from BMG with obviously Haxorin playing it, but I think actually before that the stats did say that Zinc were playing a little bit of Suicide Mage Bane.
I think Jonas a fan even did it when he was there, so.
So yeah, we'll get to see how Suicide Mage Bane works again in this matchup, and it's going to be interesting to see how effective Zinc can play it. I mean, we talked about the draft from Zinc already. Quite a lot of ganking potential with obviously the Revenant, the Parasite, the bubble, and the pebbles. But obviously they did lack a little bit of late game potential. But now that the Mage Man obviously does offer that, but him being played in the suicide lane, it'd be interesting to see how well he can actually have an effect here in this game 1 of the series.
Yeah, Mage Man definitely a different suicide carry, a suicide hero in general as of late. But we have, as we pointed out, seen a couple times pop up here and there. And again, as far as potential goes, he has great survivability with that blink of his, and definitely kind of leech some experience if need be, but also on top of that has a very strong late game presence when it comes to it. So kind of just build a team around him, let your other guys develop. In this case, the Pebbles, obviously they're going to be sending the Pebbles to the short lane up here initially. We'll see if that stands or not. Flensmeister playing the Revenant here in this case because of how things are shaping up. But look at the Legion team though. Willowkeeper, they have all 5 in the jungle right here, so definitely going to scout each other out. Morax is great at leading the way for stuff like this, but I don't think he's going to be able to get in range for any kill attempts by any means. Just your typical blocking some camps or whatever. Yes, this does block this camp right here. As far as the left camp, we are going in apparently. Rhapsody and Prophet going at it. Or no, that's his teammate. Anyways, Rhapsody and Revenant going at it. But in the end, not the most damage done, so we'll kind of fall back from there. Ooh, another ward side actually placed. That was probably seen though, so.
Well, I don't know though, because when you're actually up in this sort of top positioning, it's actually really hard to sort of see it, because obviously these trees here, they do block it, but we'll have to see if they do end up sort of deciding to sort of put a river ward there. But an actually interesting item build coming from Slaps already. Something that I do like to see Parasite players do. Normally we sort of see him buy all their items, but he's actually saving here gold for any rev wards, particularly if his sort of camps are blocked. He'll most likely pick up a rev ward here to sort of unblock this hard camp here in the top sort of side of the jungle. But obviously won't need one here for the bottom side here, because he's going to wait to see if it spawns, and then obviously it will spawn, so he won't need to sort of pick up any rev wards just yet. But so yeah, so here's the dual lane as expected to come out from Tree with the Prophet and the Miraxus, and actually the Doctor Repulsor and Rhapsody against the Mage Man here in the bottom lane. So it's going to be quite interesting to see actually how K2 can have an effect here on this bottom lane.
Yeah. Yeah, again, going to be boxed out as you would expect here by the Rhapsody, and about the pause going to be coming out, so again, not hoping nothing too serious here. Apparently, could even be a possible strat pause, wouldn't be surprised, with everything being on the line here. But yeah, Prophet, the secondary support here, Root of Z playing, and he's definitely become a bigger name player. He's really known for his engineer play, and especially Riftwalker, of course. Always fun to see when Root of Z is playing that Riftwalker, but playing another kind of different secondary support, though. Once again, on Prophet here, so see his potential. It does get that Persecution first. That's the stun one that allows follow up with auto attacks and apply the stun. Persecute, debilitate, though, the bonus damage, man, that can really amp up there, especially, like I said, with the ultimate, the Shared Fate. You get that in the AoE fights, and everyone's taking 20% more damage as a result, so there's also some heavy nuke to come out.
Yeah, so I mean, this Suicide Mage Man, though, I think it really does depend on, first of all, his sort of presence in the lane, how well he can really do in this Suicide line, how much farm he can get. And then secondly, his item build, depending on whether he's going to go maybe Alk Bones, maybe Runed Cleaver, or even some kind of maybe more team fight oriented sort of style of build, like maybe the Elder Parasite or Helm Black Legion. The way the game is underway, but I think when we saw, Haxron do it. I think he rushed the what was it, the
Runed Cleaver?
No,
he
rushed
Skull,
it.
that's right, yeah.
Abyssal Skull and Dawnbringer, I think he rushed and he went for that. And in that case, I wonder what actually how Kazu is actually going to build it here. I mean, he does love actually the Alchemist Bones. Actually, he's a strong believer, and he thinks that Alchemist Bones is very strong, even if you do get it later rather than early. And I think it can work. So,
but they're not going up against a Parasite, so. Shots fired. No. Yeah. Obviously, again, we saw the last game, and that was a later Alchemist Bones last game too. To be fair, so yeah, we'll see what KZU does decide here as far as the Suicide Mage Man go. So your classic. All right, we're ready, and then not really kind of pause coming out to follow. Rhapsody is apparently Willowkeeper's best hero. Not too surprising. Rhapsody in general, a very strong hero. In fact, does Rhapsody have the highest win percentage? Who has the highest win percentage out of like
overall?
Most played heroes, yeah. I would think Rhapsody's up there, especially for how much he's played.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it's to see a main support like that as the first pick and everything.
Yeah, we talked about it before because I mean she's such a great laning support, but most laning supports don't really offer too much outside of the the laning phase. But obviously Rhapsody is so strong throughout the game, so in the sense that's why she's so strong. So it wouldn't surprise me if she is the top win percentage in the game at the moment. And interesting sort of lane positioning at the moment though. So they obviously put Mickey on the Pebbles and Empath top, which makes sense obviously because now it's going to put obviously Pharaoh under a lot of pressure in terms of him giving potentially a lot of bloodlust kills perhaps, as well as giving Pebbles a lot of kills as well. But at the same time, having Revenant here in the middle lane, 1v2 isn't the strongest of heroes. Actually, Chipper has the highest win streak actually.
The wins in over 10 games. Okay. A Riftwalker second. That's not one I would expect to be up there, but as we're just talking about, Ruda's on that Riftwalker, man. You got to respect that. So, and then Behemoth even third. That's also kind of really okay.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising as well, actually. But we don't really see Behemoth too much, but very, very strong hero. But yeah, going back to the Revenant here in the middle lane. Not the strongest of 1v2s, obviously, because he doesn't have the greatest escape mechanism outside of his stealth. And yeah, he can obviously harass and trade hits quite a lot with the support, but it's obviously going to sort of just trading farm up with the Meraxes compared to the Pebbles. But one additional thing though is quite interesting to have with actually as you're running the Initiator and for Zinc running their Initiator in the short lane, this actually is quite clever in the sense that if they run if they run the Pebbles Empath in the middle lane, they're quite susceptible to the ganks coming out from obviously the dual supports. But running in the short lane, there's no really way that the dual supports can make a rotation, particularly with ganking with a Pharaoh. So in that sense, another little sneaky thing that Zinc do. And it's all these sort of little things you probably won't notice at the start, and it does make a big difference. So, again, Zinc showing why they are sort of the top team in Hon at the moment.
Oh, yeah. They definitely have done their homework, plenty of experience to work with as well, and there's also the skill level that's obviously there. So, kind of the complete package in that sense. And right now, definitely the #1 team. They won the first cycle, of course, and it wasn't easy in the end. They did have to come from behind against Bad Monkey Gaming, the former BMG team, but in the end, they did take that series 3-2. In the Grand Finals of Cycle 1. So trying to repeat that and stay as the top dogs, but as we've constantly been talking about, as we've been seeing throughout this Cycle 2 especially, I mean, there's a lot of competition kind of coming up throughout the ranks, and this is one of those teams that most certainly is kind of knocking on the door right now and trying to make a point themselves. So Mage Bane bottom lane, again, every time I go back down here, it's just Rhapsody throwing out staccatos. Mage Bane trying to run her away, kind of does, but in the end, Mage Bane takes some good damage. He's down to 1 health potion now, so Keizu and his regen situation not the friendliest for the time being. And we'll see if that... Yeah, you see Dr. Repulse right there even. Balthazar. Speaking of another kind of player that just really has made an impact, he's known as one of the top carry players in the game now, and understandably so, being on, again, Willowkeeper here. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah, so Rhapsody for having the 4th highest win percentage. Actually, top one in the meantime. Pharaoh's in trouble because here comes Parasite especially. Cuts him off with the Vagabond leader, and the nuke from the Leech to guarantee the kill on a Boxy. So excellent setup right there for the kill. Pharaoh usually good at surviving, but not so much right there.
Exactly. And this is what I was saying. With the rotation coming on from Pebbles and Empath into the top lane instead of, say, Revenant in the solo lane, it does give, or does put a lot of pressure onto the Pharaoh, seeing as it's like a 3v1 here in the top lane. Whereas if that was just Revenant, Pharaoh would have been fine there. But also, so good rotation coming out from Slaps on the Parasite. And we talk about hero combinations, hero and player combinations. I mean, Slaps on his Parasite is so strong, and this is the reason why he's actually leading here in the GPM. So impressive stuff coming out from Slaps already. Yeah.
So, but yeah, again, Rhapsody and Torture actually tied as the most played heroes overall, both in the sense, obviously, more support. Torture can't be played as carries, we saw last game, but usually more the support role, so kind of values that there. But to have the 4th highest win percentage as the most played hero, that should tell you something right there. I think that's the way to put it. So, anyways, let's kind of break things down as far as creep farm goes. Moraxis here middle lane, 22-6. Revenant 10-2, so not too surprising, but Moraxis having the much better time. Parasite coming in as well with Revenant to the top rune area. Nothing's there currently. Invisible's bottled up by Prophet, that's why. And he will get away before anything further happens. So, good rune control coming out from Root of Z specifically. Bottom lane, Doctors 29-21 down here. Holy crap. He is denying the crap out of these creeps. He's even focusing denies over creep kills. We saw right there. He even went for the deny over the creep kill in that situation. So he's a good doctor. Oh, God Doctor even, yeah. That's usually a good sign.
yeah, 625 GPM. Oh my days, that's insane, actually.
Yeah, Flensmeister known as the Doctor Player right now, but Baltasar's coming up there. Oh, bottom lane.
Bottom lane.
Yep, here we go with the Invis Prophet. He got the Invis Rune Magebane. Now he has a blink, but will they bait the blink is the question. You see he's kind of like, all right, something's happening. Right on top of his Prophet, but there we go. The blink away. Good angle for him. And it should be enough, I would think. Prophet's going to cut him off right here. There's the opening. Do they have enough damage just for themselves? No. Yeah, easy blink away. Parasite ports in, actually. I don't know if he was seen right there. So I was going to say it might have been a waste of a port, but actually if he wasn't seen, then he could set up something now.
Oh, definitely. Even if they don't set up anything in the bottom lane, he can actually have a presence here on the Miraxis. Miraxis is not even level 6 yet, so if they're going to kill this Miraxis, it's got to be soon. Actually, bottom lane.
Yeah, need to see Prophet roaming around. Parasite is here once again. He could definitely kill one of these if they're by themselves, but they kind of nearby. Magebane now collapsing as well. Prophet, but Prophet has the bottle on him here even. Yeah, not even going to be close to a kill when it's all said and done. So Parasite kind of getting a little antsy right there. Miraxis charging over. Revenant nearby now as well. And actually Miraxis all of a sudden the one that needs to be careful himself. He's trying to get back to the tower. He pops the or the W right there. Whatever that's called, the Arcane Shield. And it's not going to be enough, though. The burst damage from Parasite comes in with the face hug and gets the kill. So, hey, the pursuing works.
Exactly, and this is what I was saying. Miraxis not being level 6, though, is quite dangerous, and this all goes back to, obviously, the Parasite rotating into the enemy jungle. So, yeah, really well played out from Zlapt, and look at his GPM now as well, 380, and he's still top on the GPM charts for this whole time, so clearly Zlapt's knowing how to play his Parasite inside out. Yeah.
So, obviously, great news right there for Sync Esports. 2-0 Zlapt on that Parasite. Very, very effective. Pharaoh gets the Mummy Walls off. Will it matter, though? The wall-off comes from Empath. The angle from Pebbles. He missed the chuck on Pharaoh, though. He's forced to fall back. He's taking a lot of tower damage. Magebane coming to the flank. That's the Pharaoh going to be his boxy. He's doing everything he can to survive right here. No TP's coming in. The chuck happens. The auto attacks from Magebane is going to commit. He has a blink coming up. He goes in with the blink. The health potion ticked out just enough. Boxy somehow lives right there. Holy crap.
But we talk actually Prophet. No, it should be. I know. We give Boxy so much credit, but deservingly so. You see his plays, and in the meantime, actually, T1 does go down for Tree, so there is the gold advantage that they have been needing for a while, but they are still far behind in terms of the XP. But that is to be expected, seeing as obviously that they are, the enemy team is running a jungler and they're not. But this Doctor Repulsor though is starting to get a little bit scary. We talked about obviously Parasite having high GPM, but now actually Balthazar on the Doctor Repulsor has hit the highest GPM at the moment. And it's kind of be interesting to see his item build, because sometimes he does go for the Grimmer of Power, sometimes he goes for the Icon of Goddess. So it'll be interesting to see what item he does go for here on the Doctor Repulsor. So
yeah, he's got that early gold saved up at 1600 just about. Again, pushing that bottom tower as you mentioned. So it's great start for Balthazar, and understandably so with the circumstances. Zlapt though on the Parasite. He's well on a way to a puzzle box. We saw what you got last game on Parasite for Nullstone Gaming against BMG, of course, and he got that early puzzle box as well. He got that quad kill in the fight early on, which allowed him to do so, and saw the impact of that. So Zlapt just aiming for that style right here, only 8.5 minutes in. Getting closer to it. Revenant still working back as far as his farm goes, picking it up now, 29-3. As Flensmeister has 230 gold per minute. Magebane also, making use of his time, going to stack some ancients here, it looks like. In the meantime, as far as the middle lane, though, support's coming in. Pharaoh's actually nearby. Pharaoh's actually farming some yellow camp here, assisting with the Moraxis illusion, so having fun walking on by. It wants to kill, but there's no one in the middle lane currently for Sync Esports, so not going to happen. Yeah, not usually often the middle lane's completely retreated from, but that's the case here. Revenant, I guess, he was back at base currently. He has a full bottom now. He's running back towards bottom here.
Yeah, it's just risky. I mean, they can just farm the jungle, and there's no need to really be in the middle lane, I guess. But, I mean, going back to this Magebane Suicide, though, it's only 120 GPM. Hasn't really had that much impact in the game, but, I mean, he hasn't died, so at least there's something in that. But, I mean, now they need to make use of the Magebane. Either they're going to sort of play him as a sort of recovering sort of carry. I mean, are we going to see the Alchemist Bones? We still don't know yet. He hasn't even picked up the Steam Boost, so, I mean, for him to really be, for this pick to be really worthwhile, we need to see him have some kind of impact. I mean, we might not see it just yet, but even if he gets into the late stages of the game, then we might see, obviously, the reason why we see Mage Bane as a suicide hero pick.
Yeah.
For the most part, I think we're just going to see him AFK farm for the next sort of 20 to 30 minutes, unless obviously there's a big team fight.
I mean, even in the short lane from the pistol, if that's what he did, so especially in the suicide role, where he's having a much worse start than he would in the short lane priority, of course, that it's understandable that, yeah, he's not. I mean, I guess that's the one thing where you look at Amazement, and it is a little bit funky seeing the suicide. Even though we have seen it, it's definitely worked to an extent, but it's like he's not a Madman even. Madman's not only has that late game carry, but he can be of good, decent assistance earlier on in the game too with the stock and barrel roll. So Mage Bane, not so much. Now the Mana Rift can be useful, not crazy, but it's still something at least for him to assist with. But yeah, he no doubt needs a lot of time to be of maximum efficiency here for his team. So, speaking of efficiency, gold efficiency wise, both teams identical. That's 77.6% right there, so having a very even game.
I mean, I talked about how Dr. Pulse, I wonder what item pickup he's going to go for. It actually looks like he's most likely going to be rushing a Nullstone pickup, which is actually quite a good item pickup if you think about it. Obviously, he's going to have quite an easy time against, say, like the Parasite and even the Pebbles and the Empath, perhaps. I mean, he might actually go for a Sheepstick, but I think we're going to see a defensive item first before the Sheepstick.
Yeah, first out of Sheepstick, that'd be greedy.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't really count out Tree for. I mean, we always say, oh yeah, Tree are innovative and they're kind of crazy. So I mean, you can't say that they will do something because sometimes they just turn around and do something the complete opposite. So I sort of strayed away from saying, oh yeah, they're going to pick up this time. I try and give myself some options because I mean, Tree they don't play the normal style of Hon, so that anything could happen.
Very, very fair point. So, but yeah, with the Blessed Orb, definitely the Nullstone would be the expected, but we'll see what Baltasar goes for. You see bottom lane there trying to bait out Mage Bane a little bit, Revenant and Parasite nearby, but no one falling for that trap for the time being. Revenant will triple stack the Ancients in the meantime, and possibly look to do that, but as they say that, Doctor, he needs to be a little careful right here. He has that ultimate. Parasite kind of just running on up. There we go. He's actually burning through his mana. He does not have any mana left. Mana Rift comes out, and down goes Baltasar. I mean, he just reacted too late right there as far as Parasite jumping in. So, I mean, he had a little bit of time, it felt like, to get something going as far as trying to get away, but nope.
In the end, just not enough. But again, a good actually play came out from Flensmeister. Obviously, he was 1v2 in the middle lane, so didn't have the greatest of farm, but at least he's being useful in terms of ganking potential. Actually, top lane. Wow.
Boxy big plays. Takes out Empath, denies the tower, no big deal. Just
standard
typical Boxy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, just going back to Flensmeister though, it might not have the greatest of times in the lane, but at least he's making use of his obviously his levels, for example. But I mean, Mickey's closing in on that portal key as well, and perhaps when we do see that, we're going to see a lot more sort of ganking potential coming out from the whole of the team, and then that should hopefully obviously give Mage Bane the time to space to farm and get back into the game.
Yeah, Pebbles, he definitely has it now. Just going to finish out this last Minotaur and pick it up. You know, Mickey's also usually pretty good at not showing that portal key either, so once he gets that, we'll see if gets that opportunity to use it before Willowkeeper's even aware that is the case. For the time being, they're playing pretty defensive themselves in their own jungle. Pharaoh's kind of at the top lane, but even he's playing pretty passive here. So something tells me they might expect it, that he possibly does have it. And obviously, again, Revenant, that Nymphora kind of aspect of they could be anywhere because of the Invis coming out. And you got a Parasite now with that puzzle box finished. So this is a dangerous time already for Willowkeeper in terms of moving around the map and trying to pick up some farm. So there's the portal kill Moraxis with that said, as Crackies manages to get that.
Quite similar timing as well, actually, which is quite impressive. Obviously, I think Mickey did go for a little bit of build-up with like the power supply, for example, but still, with Cracky on, or with the portal key, at least he can rotate and make some kind of rotation if the gank of Pebbles does happen. Here's the Invis Pebbles already here at the bottom lane, so here comes the expected gank actually, and Tree have to be ready for it. And Cracky's already TPing in, so they know something a little bit already.
Yeah. Oh, Dr. Repulsor, he's in trouble. He's going to be open up right away. The mortification comes out, and down goes Doctor. And one single combo. Moraxis able to react somewhat, but not nearly quick enough. Down goes Rhapsody. Matrax explodes. Mage Bane actually dropping pretty quickly. He gets denied! The truck actually denies him, and now Parasite comes in. Pharaoh's going to fall. It all works out right here for Sync Esports, even if it was on purpose or not. Moraxis is also going to end up falling in the end. And Sync just cleans up Willowkeeper, and this lead is starting to get huge now. Oh, man.
Yeah, and but it's kind of strange because it felt like Tree knew that the gank was coming. Like, you saw the Crackhead did TP bottom, but then you saw Baltazar just coming in with like low health, low mana. Then Pebbles just comboed him and killed him. But so there's a little bit of sort of split sort of communication or split understanding with the team of Tree here. Because you expect, obviously, the gank to happen, yet then why was Doctor so far up with so little HP and mana? But in the end, just good rotation come out from Mickey, and this is what I mean. I think are so clinical, actually, bottom lane.
Yeah, TP coming in. Willowkeeper knows that they cannot let this keep going. They need to make something happen to Revenant. They're trying to focus him down. It looks like there will be enough damage to get the kill. Yes, it will. And so at least they get something there. Prophet nearly dying right here. Almost dying to creeps even, but no, he's going to survive. In the end, the tower was killed though by the Hellborn team. Mickey actually gets credit for that. So, yeah, it's just clockwork, man. You talk about the portal key pick up on Mickey. As soon as it happened, right away, making big plays with it yet again, as we've seen so many times. And before you know it, he's all of a sudden 430 gold per minute. That's because of all that. 2-0-3 hero kill score. He got the tower kill. Yeah, it's a really good situation now for Sync. You got the Doctor Pulsar Baltazar. He must have bought what's being delivered to him. Okay, it is the no stone. So he does have a full no stone here, at least. But is that a significant item right now for how big this start has been? Actually,
it just doesn't feel like it's gonna be, because obviously, like, especially with Zing, like, once they've got the items, they know their gameplay, they know their strategy inside out. And with this sort of ganking style of lineup, they will not, put their foot off the gas. They're going to keep on pushing. And with the Doctor Repulsor Nullstone, I don't think he's going to really get involved or get online in time really for Zinc, or before Zinc can a big difference in this game. Revenant's already ganking over. He might be spotted by the courier actually. He should be fine in the end, but Rapsy might be in trouble.
Top lane, actually. Moraxis is up here. Now, Parasite nearby as well. Moraxis getting the information, though, with that Invis. Mage Bank going in with the Energizer. They think they have a good chance, but now Moraxis, he jumps on the two in the background. Empath and a Mage Bane. Is there going to be the follow-up? Yes, there is. The Empath jumps inside of Mage Bane, and that should mean they get away both just fine. So, yeah, kind of awkward initiation on both sides, really, because of what happened right there. And Parasite's just kind of chasing them back. He's just sitting the Skeleton King. Being a threat. Revenant coming in with Pebbles. They're not done. They want more. The Nullstone going to be deactivated right there. Big burst off the bat. Nullstone this, they say. No chance for Doctor. Moraxis is going to fall to the Mana Rift. And Sync is just making a statement if I ever saw one, man. They're just saying, we are the #1 team. And we're showing a why right here once again. 18 minutes in. They already have 10-2 hero kills. As they all get another kill right there. But, yeah, 10,000 gold lead, 15,000 experience lead. So a Dr. Rhapsody, apparently a strong combo according to the stat line. 13-1 overall when they happen to be on the same team. Well, it's probably going to be 13-2 after this game.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. Like, Zinc are so clinical that they know their timings exactly on what they should do when. And obviously they've practiced this draft and this strategy time and time again. And this is what I meant. Like, once they've got the items, once the sort of gank and the sort of ball starts to roll, I don't know if Tree can really rotate because they just don't have the items to really make a difference. Okay, Doctor does get a kill there on the Empath, but
why Empath was by herself and the rest of the team was tops beyond me, honestly. But yes, he does find Empath at least, and Sania gets found. Oh, actually more engagement off to the side over here. Doctor's not here to help his teammates, and as a result, Pharaoh's in trouble. He's most likely going to end up falling in the long run. I mean, he's surviving as long as possible. Boxy, again, just trying to make it work right here. Buy time for his teammates. He does buy the time. Revenant gets person down. And now Prophet with that Shared Fate coming out. Parasite, he's able to infest the creep, though, and it walks away as if nothing even happened in the first place. So a little bit of a chance there for Willowkeeper to make a turn on the fight, but not so much, really. And even with the hero kill, the lead continues to grow for Sync Esports.
Exactly. And I mean, Pebbles closing on the Stronger Head as well. I mean, Tree, as we talked about before, Tree always loved to run such heavy magical sort of lineups and drafts, and with the enemy team already closing in on the Stronger Heads before like 20 minutes is definitely something that needs to sort of be questioned, and it's hard obviously for Tree to really get back in this game. I mean, Pebbles 430 GPM, and I mean, Mage Bane's closing in on his items as well. He's already picked up the Energizer and the Abyssal Skull, so that seems to be kind of the norm here for sort of suicide Mage Banes then, to pick up the Abyssal Skull and then farm from there. But
yeah.
I mean, Tree definitely have options and sort of ways to get back into the game, but it's kind of a similar strategy to Zinx in the sense that they need to get the pickoffs sort of with the Doctor, with the Pharaoh and Miraxis, but it's just with the draft actually bottom lane. And again, another kill.
That,
but yeah, I mean, I was saying like the only way that Tree can really get back into this game is through a similar style of what Zinc are doing, but yet Zinc have sort of the better draft to actually do it. They've got the Revenant, they've got the Parasite, and they've got the Pebbles. Yeah, you know, Tree need to sort of run the sort of ganking style of lineup, but they just don't have the best heroes to do it. I mean, Miraxis isn't too bad, Doctor isn't too bad, but compared to sort of Parasite and Revenant, they're just there's no contest.
Yeah.
In that sense, so. And that's why I think in this game, Zinc just almost outdrafted them and out sort of played them in terms of the strategy. We saw in the first game against WoP actually, or it might be the second game against WoP, like they definitely had chances where WoP could have beat Zinc, whereas in this case, there's no way that there's definitely a potential that Tree can beat him, but it's the strategy that gave WoP such a good chance against Zinc. It's quite even in that sense, but in this game, the strategy is just too much for Tree at the moment.
Yeah, the more I'm realizing too, I mean, as soon as that Mage Bane, perhaps the ultimate reason why they maybe went with that is because they're going up against that Doctor Repulsor, and the fact that he can just burn through that mana, and then of course the mana rift to get a big AoE explosion off.
Yep.
Very, very powerful potency there, and I think I almost kind of underestimated that, and we're seeing once again a reason why a Suicide Mage Bane is really strong actually in the right hands and perhaps the right game. As the Mana Bird it's a very powerful tool of hell. It's only level 3 still. It's not even maxed out here. Does that mean he's going stats?
Yes. I think so.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting actually.
Like
Why does he only have level 3? Is that a misclick, or is there actually logic to that? I mean,
I mean, I can understand in the sense that he doesn't need to have the max mana combustion just yet, because obviously he hasn't really hit the peak in terms of the carry potential, and he just wants to get some kind of stats so to sort of stop dying, if that's the case. He pretty much likely will pick it up the next level, but it's probably just he wants an extra bit of stats just to increase his bulkiness and stuff. But
yeah.
Middle lane though.
Yes, so middle lane indeed. Revenant invis already. He's looking to find that chance for a jump. Pebble says, "I got the jump, baby." Here we go. Doctor pulls up the melody. Comes out. Doctor is going to survive off the bat. The Prophet sheer fate. It's doing a lot of work right here. Revenant's going to fall. Down goes 3. Down goes 4. All of a sudden, it's only Pebbles. The shared fate MVP, no doubt, from Prophet right there.
Oh my days! Like, we talk about. I mean, I talk about how Tree always have great, you know, heavy magical sort of teams, but their team fight is so strong, and we sort of show it there again. 4 for nothing, as well as their tier 1 tower. Okay, we might have written Tree
we did
too much, because I mean they've still got some life in them, Breaky, and they're clearly showing that. You know, Zinc had the strong early game, but I mean, Tree, they're fighting for it to come back.
It's that's one of those things though. Zinc is again not a hero you play against too often, but it's the idea that in general you shouldn't be clumping up against this Legion team. They got clumped up for whatever reasons. It was mainly because they thought that they had a chance themselves to initiate and go for kills, of course, and understandably so. But that's what backfired for them. Rudizy laid down the Shade of Fate, Debilitate, and Persecution came out. I'm sure they invigorated both the attack speed of the teammates as well, and it showed right there the power and the potential of those abilities. Kraken, I'm sure, had a big ultimate as well himself with that Matrix, at least the initiation with the stun. When a team wins a fight like that after being down 10,000 golden experience, that tells you something that, again, their team potential, they have the fight in them to make the plays happen. So,
also, I mean, one thing to know, like being a captain myself, like, or used to be a captain, whenever you're down this much and then actually bottom lane before Empath might be in trouble actually. She's going to place the ward, but is she going to TP out? Yeah, she should be fine. But yeah, I mean, when you're quite far behind and then you get a massive team fight turnaround, like the momentum, the sort of the pump, the hype, it is so much bigger. Like you want to win, like you just get that extra bit of boost and that motivation to play on. And that definitely must have happened there with Tree. It wouldn't surprise me in their Skype that they're cheering, they're screaming. They want, they want this game. They want to progress forward. They want to be the #1 team, and the only way they can do that is if they beat Zinc. So, I mean, okay, they are quite far behind, but the game's still definitely not over. I mean, Hellfire nearly been picked up on Doctor Repulsor. That's going to be a massive item, particularly against Mage Bane, as well as obviously the strong head on Pebbles, because that's going to stop them in their tracks completely. And he's level 15, so I mean, he is definitely, well, he's the same as actually Pebbles on the Mickey, but obviously he can carry a lot harder than the Pebbles, so they are far down, but they definitely have ways to get back into this game.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle for sure, an uphill climb, but yeah, the Hellflower Doctor Pulsar coming up, as you pointed out, I think definitely is the key to know. Now, Sync, no doubt, they're going to need to make mistakes themselves to give Willowkeeper a chance, and when you are down by this much, that is just part of it, but even the best teams like Sync, those mistakes could possibly happen, maybe grouping up a little too much again, just get picked off here and there. And before you know it, Willowkeeper is making the ultimate comeback. But, yeah, it's one thing, though. I mean, you see the lead that this Hellborn team has, and you really look at where that's going. Pebbles, again, a big part of that. With the Shrunken Head, as you just mentioned, now an Arcana to follow. So, very likely a Hellflower himself going to be coming out. Although, something tells me, I want to say, especially knowing Mickey, it could be like a Spell Shard, honestly. I want to be out of the question, but...
Maybe.
Probably
I think Hellflower is so strong, particularly against Doctor Repulsor as well, so... Most likely we're going to see a Hellflower on Mickey then, but yeah, I mean, going back to what you said though, I mean, okay, Mickey's got crazy amounts of farm, so has Lapped, but I mean, both of these heroes, they don't have great late game potential, particularly in Parasite, so, I mean, yeah, they are quite far ahead in terms of the golden XP, but, you know, it's only on the heroes that are sort of good in the early game, whereas Doc's obviously getting a good start can definitely, you know, snowball and carry into the late game, so the golden XP might be a little bit deceiving, actually, in terms of actually the state of the game we're in at the moment.
Absolutely. We have a Mage Bane, though, 1,700 gold saved up. Again, he's got some decent core farming early on. Abyssal Skull and the Energizer. Is that? Okay, it's an Invis. I was like, oh, that's a Rev Ward. You're dead. Poor guy. And Sandia's like, no, I'm fine. Don't worry. I'm just going to go scout things out, place word aside here, and all of a sudden I ran right over a Rev Ward.
Don't worry, guys. I got this. Oh, crap. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Oops. Lensmaster might be in
trouble. Oh, man. This is another big chance. Yeah, he's obviously Invis. Okay, so no Bound Eye or anything like that. They do have Dust, but no reason for them to use it right there, of course. So Revenant is fine. But that's what I was talking about. I mean, yeah, especially if they got a Revenant pick off there, too, then again, Willowkeeper can definitely start getting something going. But they don't get the Revenant pick up. They're just working off the impact. She's going to be up, actually, as soon as they push in this bottom tower. I don't think Sync's going to defend, though, and probably for good reason. Doctor does have a double damage rune here. And that's going to be a free tower kill, actually, when it's all said and done. So, counter pushing at the top and middle lane. But Willowkeeper will fall back to protect their base, as they do. So, not the biggest deal. Yeah. Doctor already has another 1,500 gold saved up.
He does farm so fast, actually, Baltazar. He knows exactly how to maximize his efficiency. But also, I mean, like you just saw there as an example. Okay, yeah, Doctor Repulsor did have DD, so maybe that could be the reason why Zinc did want to sort of dodge the fight. But at the same time, if you actually think about Zinc's teamfight potential here, it's kind of lacking. Like Parasite, yeah, he does have the puzzle box, but not the greatest teamfight compared to say like Tempest or Ophelia. Mage Bane, I mean, he doesn't have the greatest of farm either. So I mean, he isn't the scariest of threats in terms of his teamfight. And obviously, Revenant, yeah, he does do a lot of damage, but not the greatest in terms of lockdown. So. Okay, you know, Zinc are up. They're up quite a bit in terms of golden experience, but I mean, they don't have the strongest of team fights. Whereas, you know, Tree has an incredible, great team fight. We saw obviously the Prophets impact with the shared fate before. Obviously, great stuns come out from Miraxis, and Box is closing in on a Hellflower as well. So, I mean, this game is still live. It's still anyone's game.
Absolutely. Again, game number 1 here in this best out of 3 of the winter bracket finals. Pharaoh finds no, they're both Invis. Never mind. They're kind of just both Invis on top of one another. There we go. And actually, the Mortification hits him. I don't think they can see that still technically, so it's not really the biggest steal in the world. But he's going to continue to scout things out, maybe try to ninja something here. Not really. The team's not really the closest to him, so falls back, and that'll be that. So just getting information simply. Shrunken Head in the works now, most likely for Doctor, but does buy a Mighty Blade right there. So on the way to the Warhammer and eventually the Pattern, of course. A Hellflower also in the works for Pharaoh, so they're really stressing the Hellflower point. Like you said, especially against the likes of a Mage Bane here, helping to lock him down, prevent him from blanking away, and the Shrunken Head usage of, say, the Pebbles. Also pretty important. Also on Parasite,
Parasite
now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
Not often you see a Shrunken Head Parasite, but getting the Parasite, or the Shrunken Head here on Parasite. Okay.
So I say it can work very, very well though as well, obviously, because he jumps in and obviously doesn't have the greatest escape mechanisms outside of the puzzle box. But Again, though, something that I've always noticed, actually, how Tree, they always have such high, heavy magic damage. Actually, they have great team fight, but they do really lack quite a lot of physical damage. And that's why we probably see a stronger hit on Parasite. I assure you, if Tree didn't have the greatest, actually, top lane.
Yeah, they're going for Pebbles. Hellflower, it's going to be used shortly after. Now, Minotaur's coming in with Parasite. Can he get there in time? Strickland goes off there. It's around to the Pharaoh, though. Mumbles, no, he couldn't get the Mumbles off in time. He couldn't trap him down, and actually, Pebbles does make the getaway.
So big.
That is huge, because he used him quite a bit right there to try to get that. You see everyone now up here for Willowkeeper. And they're going to counter-push the secondary tower down here in the meantime.
Yeah. And actually, honestly, that was a slight misplay. I mean, a very rare misplay coming out from Boxy, but he actually hellfired before he walled with mummies, and that's the reason why, you know, Pebbles did just skirt on out. I think, actually, if Pharaoh hooked in and then instantly walled with mummies, he might have actually caught Pebbles in the end, but in the end, they did take the tier 1 top, and they're most likely going to defend the tier 2 bottom, so not the baddest of trades here for Tree. And again, though, like, Zinker are very reluctant to take these team fights, so clearly showing that, you know, Zinker are a little bit afraid of Tree, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely could have been much better for Tree, but still, overall, as pointed out, not the worst trade in the end. In fact, Pebbles might be in trouble. No, Pharaoh's the one in trouble. Dr. Pulsar chomps him, but he got there a little bit too late. And by the time he gets there, the damage already done. Pharaoh falls. And Doctor just has to get the hell out of there with the ludicrous speed. So Parasite and Pebbles definitely showing off more, again, of that combo potential that they have. And really, if they find anyone on the map right now, they could definitely get a guaranteed kill. So that they do right there. On to Boxy. Shrunken Head is finished with that set on Dr. Repulsor. So has that here now. You got Meraxis also, 1,900 gold saved up. So Kraken's kind of been quiet there, honestly, as far as his farm goes, but the Portakey, a Sackstone here, and well, now over 2,000 gold here.
Yeah, I wonder what he's actually going to go for as well, though, because normally we see like a Hellflower, but I mean, with already 2 Hellflowers in the works, I wonder what it's going to be. Yeah.
That's very true, actually. God, it's been a Hellflower. Another one I picked up, this one on Pebbles, actually. Coming out on the Hellborn side. We were talking about that earlier with the Arcana pickup, of course. So 2,600 gold saved up on Mage Man. I'm sure the Geometer Spain in the works for him. He has the Firebrand here, so he's, again, starting to really get to a actually being of a right-click threat now, more so than just the blinking around and annoying threat here. Yes, continuing to kill some Ancients. Doctor's been doing a good job using these solutions. They finally despawn right there, but distracting. Speaking of Doctor, that's a free kill on an Empath. That was close, actually, getting away. Parasite, okay. Oh, actually, no. Okay, he's out of mana, but doesn't matter. Parasite's not going to commit further. So Doctor, the power of what he can do, fly around and get free kills. Soul's Bulwark picked up a Meraxis, so there we go.
Yeah, I wonder what it was going to be. If you do see the Souls, I mean, it's understandable, obviously, Matron is going to be that physical threat in the end, and obviously helps somewhat of the team. But, I mean, they don't have the greatest physical presence here on Legion, and neither does Hellborn really at this stage, so somewhat of a questionable item pickup, but it makes sense, I guess. And I mean, one thing to note, though, is that Meraxis does have a lot of mana issues, obviously, using a lot of those Meraxes and Quake stuns, for example. But he should be fine, as long as he Steam Boot swaps correctly with the bottle charge, he should be fine. But I mean, I don't think we're going to see another Hellflower. That would be like 3 Hellflowers just for the one team, which might be a little bit of an overkill. So.
Yeah. I've always hated that about Moraxis. The fact that his name is Moraxis and he has an ability called Moraxes. It's like, really? Really, design team? You're going to do that to us? Yes, they did. And then even that Matrax. Oh, I actually saw this on Reddit. Does it actually say... Oh, okay. I thought that was maybe it was a Photoshop. Maybe I fell for it. There was a Reddit post about it saying Matrix. The Matrix explodes or whatever. But maybe that was a Photoshop. Damn it, I got trolled. Anyways, the Matrix for Moraxis. Top lane. That is the best thing about Moraxis. I guess it's glass half empty, glass half full kind of deal. Middle lane, middle tower is pushed in by Willowkeeper, the secondary one right there. I mean, you see the lead, though. BMG, or excuse me, Sync Esports even, still holding on to a pretty hefty lead here. 10,000 gold, 15,000 experience and growing now. So, bottom side, nope, just Illusions down here, but Mageman obviously has that Geometer's Bane, and even more annoying than before as far as just pushing and keeping you occupied, but also his kill potential.
That's actually great. Actually, perfect item pickup actually coming from Case, because obviously he can dispel or just debuff the Hellflower as well. So great pickup for him in that sense, and also increases his farming potential as well. So.
Wait. Think about what you said right there. Can dispel the Hellflower.
Yeah, wait, sorry.
See,
that makes no sense.
The reason now again, yeah, here comes the trolls. Now you're an idiot, but I've said that before too. I've actually said that same exact thing before. I thought I was such a genius. I'm like, you know what? This is a really good point. Oh, what happened down here? Okay, well, Balthazar gets a pick, and he's gonna be fine. He gets another pick on Insania. He's owning him indeed. But no, I've done that before though. I'm like, yeah, no, Hellflower gets dispelled also by Geometer Spade. So then you think about it, you're like, wait a second, you can't use items when you're Hellflowered. Oh wait, that makes no sense. But anyways, point being, it's still a good pickup in general though, against debuffs and whatnot. So, but Blessed Orb now picked up on Dr. Repulsor. So Balthazar really trying, man, really doing his part to make this an actual good chance for. I mean, you look at the GPM charts, 480 gold per minute. He continues to be on top for the time being, and I don't see that changing until Magebane really starts to get his excessive farm as the game picks up here. So, I guess that puts you in a spot if you're Willowkeeper. What timing are you looking for here? Is another Hellflower maybe on Pharaoh at least, and you can't wait too long though.
That is our top lane.
There's a jump up here onto, who is that? That is the Dr. Repulsor, actually. The Hellfire, no, not going to be in time to wear off. Mana Rift comes out, and that does the job in the end. So, you know, we talked about that before as well. Magebane, great against a hero like Doctor, and that showed why right there. Burns through that mana, man.
Yeah, so talk about like, the timings over here for Tree. I mean, there's two ways they could actually play this. First way is actually they could go super late game against or in this game, because I mean, although Magebane is a great late game carry, I mean compared to other late game carries, he isn't the strongest, because the best thing about him obviously is his flash farming potential. Obviously he's a good late game carry. I mean, probably better than Dr. Repulsor, but seeing as the Hellborn side does have a lot of sort of falling off heroes in terms of maybe like the Parasite. Whoa, was that pick up here?
I'm watching the team like run away from Kongor, and all of a sudden, yeah, over here is Laps just picking off players apparently.
Yeah, I mean they could go like super late. I'm talking like 60-70 minutes, but that's rare to see what we're gonna see. Most likely we're most likely gonna see the sheep stick on Dr. Repulsor, and then from there try and get a few pickups and then go from there. But I don't think they're even going to give him the chance, because now they picked up the token, and actually obviously Magebane has got it. So they're actually pushing here on the rack. So Tree have got to sort of find it or do something, because otherwise they're going to be losing their racks here in the middle lane.
Just denies the middle tower right there, right before the catapult or the Hell Cannon controlled by Parasite got it. So something a little bit positive there, but it's understandable that Willowkeeper, again, they have kept in this long in this game, because we did see earlier the potential that they have as far as winning a team fight and making something happen, the Dr. Repulsor farm. But now with him getting picked off and the Hellborn team continuing to excel, specifically that Magebane, it is starting to look a little bit darker once again for Willowkeeper, no doubt. So these items are coming up here. With that said, of the Legion team, of again those kind of key items and maybe trying to make things happen, but Magebane, another 3,800 gold already saved up on him. If he wants to continue more of that defensive trend here, could definitely go that Shrunken Head, but I'd be surprised if it continues to be more aggressive. It's not like he's really needed to a Shrunken Head this game so far, so he's going to try to find something in the middle lane. With that said, he's got the Invis on him. No, he's just going to open up and farm away. Yeah, Prophet is nearby, but he wouldn't dare open by himself for the time being, so obviously it is the first game in this best out of 3, so if anything, Willowkeeper, again, kind of just filling it out. Hanging in there as long as they can, but worst case, go into a second game. Down 1-0, but might as well continue to try for now. You see they're trying to scout out either some wards here, or maybe even find somebody of the Hellborn Ancients, but they don't. Instead, they'll take the Ancients. Only a single, though. So nothing too big from that. But Revenant continuing to use that. I feel like Revenant's almost not necessarily, again, like different than Phora, because honestly, because he's played actually more of the ganker, more of a carry hero even, or the short lane farmer, unlike an Amphora. But again, the presence is there. The idea that they could be anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, and actually, if you're looking at sort of Tree's movements, they are sort of sticking together quite a bit. So in that sort of sense, you can somewhat see the tangible effects of picking or having Revenant on your side. As long as he's farming the jungle, he's having that kind of scare factor where he could be anywhere. And actually, bottom lane is just Illusion's being pushed out by Mageman. But yeah, I mean, with Revenant farming the jungle, you don't know where he is, where the other team is, and obviously Pels is off the map as well. So there's definitely potential, obviously, for them to be picking off heroes. So Tree have to be wary of that wherever they go.
Yeah. Past the 40-minute mark here. Oh, this has been a today. Today's been a day of just not only great games, but longer games, definitely. All the first series games, the 40-plus minutes, 50-plus minutes even, and now here we are 40-plus minutes into this one. Game number 1 of this series. A full demonic breastplate finished on Zlapped. Again, we saw last game it was on Tempest. It was on a Tempest or whatever. But, oh yeah, middle lane. They are going to go for the jump right here on a Pebbles. But he gets a Sugar Net off. Parasite's here as well. Pebbles, he's just going to barely follow the auto attack damage from Doctor. Pretty impressive with that said. Mauler explosion going off in the background. Farrell, he's dropping low. Protected Mauler, pretty damn good timing. But the Mana Rift stops and does some decent AoE damage. Here goes the Shared Fate though. You see a lot of bouncing around. Mageman gets bursted, man. He did not stand a chance. They can't lock him down further though. The chase will continue. Parasite, he's in trouble. Parasite's going to fall. Is Willowkeeper actually winning this fight somehow? Matrix or Moraxis goes down. I'm all over the place here. Prophet in the meantime. No, he is going to go for the TP. Probably not, though, says Mageman. Cuts right through him. So, okay, for Willowkeeper, it seemed like, again, there was something, perhaps of a chance, but
I mean, they were
so
fine against Token, though, so that's one thing at least out of the way now. I mean, Behemoth's Hop just picked up by a Mageman as well in the middle of that fight. I mean, he's 3,000 HP. I mean, arguably a little bit of an overkill, but he doesn't really need the increased sort of damage because that just comes from Empath. Anyway, when Empath hits level 16, he's going to be doing extra 80 damage and 80 attack speed. For Mageman, that's such a big deal. So,
yeah,
in that sense, it makes sense why he's building this. Actually, bottom lane, talking about Mageman.
Yep, they're going to go for Mageman, and this time he doesn't have a token, of course. Now, they didn't stagger the best right here. They're stunned with the Hellflower debuff on him. Yeah.
So tanky.
He's so tanky, but they did not stagger the best, though. They could have done that a little bit better, I feel like. He probably still would have gone away, though, but that just goes back, though, again, to that Behemoth card. Hatchman, he's kind of known for this, I feel like, too, is when he was around, play that card carry for complexity and whatnot, he would do that. He seems like he was more of the I want to stay alive carry builds rather than just dishing out just crazy damage carries. It's like the similar Rage and Behemoth's Heart.
That is true. So we used to see it on Moon Queen all the time. So
yeah, but again, does that here, and obviously right there it comes into play. Helps keep him alive after the possible gank attempt. So it goes back to Willowkeeper. They're just doing enough to hang in there. Dr. Repulsor, Baltazar on the Doctor. He's keeping them in it and continued to do so as far as his stats go. Obviously, it's just great team play overall, but if he wasn't 480 gold per minute, I'm sure they would have conceded by now. As that's kind of the biggest deal. Now, middle lane, Mageman, again, he might be in some trouble. There's the jump. Hellfire. No. Okay. I mean, support was definitely here, but as soon as he went in, something kind of clicked that he just didn't want to. Go for it. Now, this is a little awkward. Pebbles and Moraxis. No, going to be fun as they fall back, so... That's when you know, though, especially like Willowkeeper in that case, if they had a chance to jump Magebane, but they're like, let's not go for it. Kind of second-guessing themselves there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone on the Hellborn side was off the map, and they saw before, Magebane's so damn tanky with that Behemoth's Heart, so it's very, very hard to drop him down. But, I mean, one thing I think we noted, actually, or what we saw in the last team fight, is when they actually picked or tried to pick off Pebbles in the middle lane, once Pebbles actually popped that strong head, it took him so long to actually drop him down because of the lack of physical damage. And when it gets into the later stages, and even when maybe perhaps Magedrain picks up a shrunken head as well, it's going to be even harder to really cut through this magic immunity here on Zinc.
Yeah. Well, Doctor, he has enough for the sheepstick, but obviously buyback important too. Although I think you could argue with you being in a deficit as you are right now, might as well just go for the sheepstick here.
Yeah.
Not be too concerned about saving up for a buyback at this point, but you know it doesn't need it right now, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Oh, regen rune. Here we go. Doctor likes those. Oh, though he'll pass right over it. Rhapsody will probably bottle? No? Does anyone have a bottle? What are they doing? Okay, he's going to farm the Ancients in the meantime. They're kind of protecting him, but that's a little risky there. And as I say that, Ward of Sight place. No, the Bound Die from Empath. Kind of getting an idea. Dr. Pulsar jumps in the middle lane. Okay. Flying around. Not so much. Kind of a funky place coming out here. Did they leave the regen rune? No, somebody picked it up.
They took it.
Okay. No bottle? It was just... Okay, interesting.
I just took it normally.
No doctor.
So, yeah, so I think Doctor is most likely going to pick up obviously the sheep stick next, but yeah, he's holding a lot of money actually. But I think I do agree with you though. In this sort of stage of the game, yeah, obviously holding buyback is important, but I mean, if you pick up the sheep stick, you could potentially get a few pickoffs here and there that you wouldn't if you didn't have it. And obviously they're in a bad spot, so having buyback isn't the most important either, because if your Doctor does die, the game's mostly even if he has a buyback or not. So.
Yeah. Oh. Catapults are fun. Again, we saw the last game too. Pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. You see, he's just waddling around even in the Hellcan. Okay, comes out of it right there. I'm going to continue to farm elsewhere. Yeah, sitting on that full demonic breastplate as we talked about earlier. Obviously, Pebbles working on it now with Sheepstick himself. So, Mage Bane, another nearly 5,000 gold saved up. So, it's one thing to wait for Willowkeeper in terms of wanting to get bigger and better items themselves, but that's their classic case. If you wait too long, the other team's also just enhancing with that bigger lead that they have. So, you almost kind of feel like they're just Willowkeeper's going to be running into a wall right here as far as having a chance, actually, of still coming back in this game, if they even still have one here. But I think he just got the Sheepstick, actually. He even has more than enough for a buyback now, too. But again, that's like one of those items. Okay, you got the Sheepstick now. Are we going to start seeing perhaps trying to make more aggressive plays here, or continue to farm for the time being? Pharaoh's level 16. He's roaming around. Oh, Mageman just blinked over to the Ancients.
But I don't actually have any ward vision either. He's in.
There we go. There's the Hellfire. Doctor flying in. This should be a kill, right? Behemoths are tanky. Is he tanky enough? He's holding his gun. Here comes some support. Not in time! Mage Bane does fall in the end. He has more than enough for a buyback. He might use an Empath. She gets caught. Doctor flies in. Down goes Empath. Doctor is getting low on mana now, though. He doesn't have that icon to get the regen buff after kills. He's going to go for the TP. Should be fine. Yes, he will, but it's his supporting cast is kind of left behind. Pharaoh and Prophet's included. Pharaoh goes down, Prophet ports out, and that'll be the end of that. So, I mean, not the worst case for Willowkeeper, but with where you're at right now, you need a lot bigger plays, or bigger fights to happen, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, at the same time, you saw Zink's sort of presence of mind. Even though obviously Mageman and Empath went down, they actually still went in 3v5, knowing that Doctor doesn't have any mana. And this just goes back to sort of the strategy that Tree are playing. They're all in on this Doctor. Like, if Doctor does die or can't fight for one reason or another, the team fight of Tree is absolutely nullified. So they really do need to sort of try and protect this Doctor as much as possible and really make sure he's really utilising his presence in the team fight as much as possible. I think we're most likely actually going to see a Savage Mace next time, because they are lacking a lot of physical presence on this team, and I've seen it actually done before.
Oh yeah,
it can work, but it's like I said before, it's going to be a while before he's going to pick up, because if he wants to save for a buyback as well. So. Yeah,
no, I would not be surprised at that. I keep going back to GPM charts, and yes, Dr. Repulsor even continues to grow here, 510 gold per minute now. So now even more reason to get a Savage Mace. You see a Snake Bracelet picked up by Casey there playing the Mage Bane. So not only an eventually a Wing Bow, but Snake Bracelet, a very good item in itself, you could argue, because of the evasion that it grants you right there. So that's big news. Prophet does bottle up a double damage rune in the meantime, so maybe they can try to make use of this here. Hand it off to that Dr. Repulsor and find a kill attempt. Obviously, Cogor's up. Both teams have kind of been in the area for a little bit. You see Sync Esports wants to probably go for an attempt, but they're not going to force it either. They don't need it necessarily. It's just they'll take it if they can get it. Mage Bane, I think he just got his full wing bill, though. And, yeah, that's being delivered out to him, so he now has that wing bow again, even more reason to get that Savage Mace, which at this rate, if Doctor, I wonder if Doctor sees that, if, again, do you still save it for buyback, or are you like, we need this now? Let's kind of go, I guess it'll probably determine, too, where the game's at as far as the pushing and whatnot. There's a full demonic, actually, on Moraxis. So that's even more of the overall team presence here for the Legion team. Apparently, Pharaoh really falls off, jeez.
Yeah.
Pharaoh not as good for the later game. Bottom lane, here we go once again. Revenant going to be caught out right here, and Revenant is going to fall. So, I mean, Willowkeeper, they are getting some pick chances here.
True.
Following up, so...
Yeah, and it looks like they're actually going to try and go for the stage of the game where they go super late game and try and almost out-carry the Mage Bane and try and make the Parasite and the Revenant kind of useless. And they definitely do have the potential to do that, but it's going to take a lot of work and a lot more farm actually on Tree to really try and out-carry this Mage, which is definitely a potential to have. But cause, I mean, if you think about it, Mage Bane, yeah, okay, he's a good carry, but with the items he's got quite defensive in that sense. He's only hitting for sort of 260, which isn't sort of something to scoff at. It is quite a lot, but obviously Dr. Repulsor is hitting harder than him, and obviously Dr. Repulsor has the Savage Mace to be sort of left on his item in inventory as well. So, I mean, Mage Bane, his main sort of strength is really his flash farming capability, and he has sort of farmed quite a lot in terms of where he was at the start.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it has worked, but his late game potential compared to say like a Dark Lady or like another sort of hard carry, Mage Bane doesn't sort of rank that high in terms of the actual super late game carrier. And with Doctor with a lot of farm, you'd be surprised how well that Doctor can carry. So, and don't rule Doctor out. So don't rule Tree out just because it's getting to the late stages of the game right now.
Absolutely, it's like I said, especially with that Savage Mace, it gives it that right click, and that's a great solid counter tool to that wing bow. So most certainly, it just keeps going back to that. In a lot of games we would have both called it, and we'd have been like, why are they still in this? What's the point? They're just banging their heads against the wall. But not so much this game, even with the lead. You really do feel it because of the team that they are, and this matchup here, but more so to the what is actually developing as far as the stats and everything, and individually. Again, the Dr. Repulsor is doing very good, and he can be a big threat. So that's what it comes down to. Can they make the work of that? He actually has the double damage room bottle on him. So when that when the need comes to use it here, we'll see for that. But again, here we are, game number 1 of this series. Looking at the brackets right here is wrong screen. There we go. In case you missed the earlier series, guys, Nullstone Gaming did defeat Bad Monkey Gaming 2-1 in that best out of 3. So Nullstone moves on. Bad Monkey Gaming finishes 4th place. Nullstone, of course, will play the loser of this matchup here tomorrow in the earlier match. And then, obviously, the later match tomorrow will be the grand finals, where the winner of this will play the winner of the losers bracket finals, as it always works out. So, again, not only do we got the rest of today to finish things up, but, of course, going into tomorrow, which would surely to be a great finish overall, obviously, for Cycle 2 here in Haunter Season 3. And any updates on the Gold Division once again? Might as well check that. I think the losers bracket matchup would have been played. Probably the winner bracket finals, actually, too. Let me just look at that. Okay, it looks like Twisted Fusion actually defeated Donkey Kong 2-0. So they're in the losers bracket finals. The other series, unfortunately, the bracket's bugged out. Says they both forfeited. That did not happen. Let's see. You got Cluckmuck here. From Shrek is Love. Okay, well, they're at Hero Select. The Last of Us and Shrek is Love are Hero Select. Not sure how game number 1 went, to be honest, so try to get some information on that when we can. Oh, is this today? No, that was yesterday. Never mind. Oh, well. Anyways. So, been a minute or two. I agree. Just waiting to see what the awards are. No big deal. Just don't mind us. Are they ready? Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so game number 1. We're zooming on here. Willowkeeper versus Sync again. Winner bracket finals. Kongor Pit, obviously, as we were talking about before. Sync is in that area, but so is Willowkeeper, making sure not to give it up for free. You see, he's lapped using the puzzle box minions right here, just having some fun. Poking at them, keeping them occupied. But Balthazar is not being occupied by that. He's just doing his own. I mean, he's in the Hellborn jungle, farming around. And it's risky, though, yeah. And this is why, because here comes Parasite and Empath. He needs to get the hell out of there, as he does. He should be fine. Yes, he is. Okay. So very close, but 6,000 gold saved up. He actually pops the double damage rune right there. He's going to clean up these Ancients real quickly. And then maybe head back to base. So again, he'd still be just at a buyback, I believe, of actually triple stacks him even. Well, when he clears this out, he might actually have enough for a buyback on top of finding a Savage Mace. That's what I was getting at. I wonder, I mean, obviously that's not guaranteed. He might not get a Savage Mace in the end. I think both of you and I agree that that would be the correct option here, but we'll see. What is Baltazar going to get here? Okay. It is a Savage Mace.
Yeah.
Pretty
That makes
obvious.
sense, actually, because I mean, they, like I said before, that they do lack quite a bit of physical damage. The Wingbird's been picked up on Magebane, and actually another Shrunken Head's been picked up on Revenant as well. So the physical presence is even more needed actually now. But I mean, Doctor Repulsor is maxed out in that sense, just in his items. There's a few items he can go on the Courier, but I mean, for the most part, he's pretty maxed out. Hellburn's actually sort of doing Conga at the moment. They're sort of backing out at the moment, but Legion, they can't give this token. They need to fight now, but they can't give token to Magebane. That would be just something too much to handle, but I don't think they even realise it's actually going on, which could be a big deal.
I kind of wonder if Empath, I'm kind of curious that Empath isn't inside Magebane. I mean, it would even enhance killing this Conqueror that much quicker here.
Yeah.
But wants to make sure to, I guess, wait for the better opportunity to use it, I guess. Is what it comes down to in terms of reaction. But Conqueror, okay, there we go. He jumps inside. It's even just a little bit faster attacks, more damage. Conqueror is going to fall. Dr. Repulsor flies in, though. They're going for the Ninja. They lock down Magebane again. He's so taking with that Behemoth's Heart. Will it be in time? Conqueror is still up in the background. They can't really go in because of the wall. Magebane drops himself. Magebane goes down. Roxas goes in. Down goes Conqueror. Who got the token? Nobody picked it up. Just said Pebbles got it. Okay, Pebbles got the token. Protected Melody goes off. Roxas stays alive. Down goes Rhapsody, though. And the Hellborn team comes out on top, so it was close, man. They got the Magebane kill, but a quad kill for Mickey in response. And I think that, if anything, could be the nail in the coffin, as it says. So, yep. All right, well, looking for a hell of an attempt. And I thought for sure that, especially if they got that token alive, that could have been another something there, but not to be. Not to be. Magebane just survived long enough with the evasion, with the Behemoth's Heart, everything else. I mean, they're trying. They really are trying. The A+ for effort indeed. They are going to get the kill on Revenant. Pebbles, though. Okay, Pebbles is dropping, actually. He's going to end up falling. He got the token, though. Going to come back up. Magebane, he still has his Mana Rift, I guess. No, yes, he does, actually. Won't use it right here. Not necessary, as Moraxis does fall. So, I mean, they still have their racks. I guess that is something. Granted, it's very low right here. Okay, well, it goes down. They have the other racks. So I guess even more reason why Keeper might not be giving in just yet. Yes, if there's hope, but... Jeez, look at how fast he attacks right there. Okay, he actually blinks very short right there to get the magic buff. And Dr. Repulsor flies in and drops immediately. Now it's over. Now it's over. Okay, so GG
game one, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, I mean, the main thing that goes back to that, though, is just that Zing just had too big of an early lead, and it was just too much for Tree to really get back. I mean, they definitely had chances and had a few parts of the game where they looked